Hi again. Okay, so video 2 in my 6-part marketing series. I'm going to talk about local review boards. What they mean, where are they, how can you use them to listen to your clients, that marketing orientation we talked about, and then how can you use them to interact with your clients, which would be like sort of the social marketing that I was getting to at the end of the last video. So to begin with, our local review boards. We've got 2.5 that I don't really ever want to consider a review board ever, but I should definitely tell you about. So we've got Terb, TERB.ca. This is a really big board, 55,000 members, not all of them checking in regularly, but it is the number one board that comes up if you search Toronto Escorts reviews or Toronto Escort reviews. This is a massive, massive board. Very, very important and can make or break you. The atmosphere on Turb is a little bit combative sometimes, like just kind of, you can tell that there's all kinds of people on there. There's people that really respect our job, and there's people that maybe don't respect our job so much, but the moderation is pretty good about controlling what is said and what isn't said. And stuff on Turb can make or break your career in a way that neither of the other 2 or 3 boards that I'm going to talk to you about can do. It's really, really important that you're on Turb. And I'll talk about how you can be on Turb and what to look for on Turb when I start talking about those things later on. The other review board that is local and relatively big is CERF or CAREF, depending on how you want to pronounce it, CAERF.com. It stands for the Canadian Adult Erotic Review Forum, and TERB is the Toronto Erotic Review Board. So CERF, CAREF, whatever, is a little quieter, maybe like a quarter, a sixth of the members that Surf has, but even the guys on there are a little bit nicer, and they're way more receptive to girls getting on there and talking about themselves and interacting with them and doing all the important things that we're going to talk about later. These 2 boards do not allow advertising for free. You can pay to advertise on their boards, but you may not advertise yourself blatantly. That does not mean that you can't use them and that you can't interact with them and that you can't say what you really think on them. It just means that if you're being too obvious about trying to sell yourself, you will get your membership taken away. And that sucks. Like, yeah, you can go get another one, but they do track IP addresses and they are pretty good about catching you. So you want to be careful about that. The other 2 boards I want to talk about pretty quickly are TER. It's the Erotic Reviews. It's the biggest website in the world that reviews ladies in our industry. It's based in the States and it's massive. Like, it's really, really big. And it's like the only place that American clients are going to go on and look. So, yes, agencies do advertise on there. And yes, it is really expensive to advertise on there. And no, you cannot post anything. But you can search yourself. And if you find that when you check Turb or when you check Surf, all of your reviews are coming from American clients, or even just when you're talking to your clients, all your reviews are coming from American clients, you want to check out TER and read what's being said about you. Because you definitely want to understand what people like and what people don't like. And then the other board that's kind of going on is called MyTurb, myterb.com, and they're a horrible, horrible board with no moderation and no control from the moderators. Like, they will say awful things, and most of them are not true, and they will try and find photos of you on Facebook, which I'll talk about in another video, how to protect your personal identity and all that kind of stuff. They are like really, really awful. So before you start posting on any of these boards, the first thing I would say is go look at MyTurb. These are guys that got kicked off of Turb, by the way. So go look at it, check it out, see how horrible people can actually be. Because if you don't know, then you don't know how to fight it. I also check for myself on there on a regular basis, just because I want to know what gossip is going on about me in the industry, and I want to figure out how I'm going to deal with that, because that's part of maintaining my marketed image. So yeah, MyTurb, check it out. Don't take it to heart. Don't listen to them. They're idiots and morons, and you can tell right away that it's all lies. Like 90% of what is posted on that board is not true and didn't happen, and they've got like awful, like, just, it's horrible. It's really, really bad. So yeah, if you do check it out, which I suggest you look at it just to have some idea what you're up against, um, read it all with a grain of salt or like a mountain of salt because it's ridiculous. So the two things that I like to use review, three things I use review boards for. Number one, listening to my clients. So I search for myself all the time. I read my reviews all the time. I want to know what they liked, which means do more of, and I want to know what they didn't like or how I can improve, what I could do in a better way, what maybe was too much. But like I want to know. I also read the boards to listen. Like part of my listening to clients and reading the boards is I look for keywords that they're looking for in other girls. So, for example, when I started off in the sex industry, which was 5 years ago, I like BBBJ, bareback blowjob, wasn't common. Actually, it was pretty rare. And so there was a lot of posts saying any girls that provide BBBJ, any girls, bareback oral sex, any girls. And that sort of became more common as time went on. And now there's a lot of requests for Greek, which if you're comfortable, great, go for it. If you're not comfortable, you don't necessarily have to do it, but at least you have some idea of where the sex industry is going. I'm also like I'd say like 2 to 3 years ago, there was a big DATY push, which is dining at the Y or oral sex on a girl. So a girl that will let the client go down on her. That was a big thing like a handful of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And then now it became like more and more common. And now that's a normal thing that everybody does, but they didn't used to. Yeah, so you can use the boards to listen to what clients want, both in your reviews and then in other people's reviews. And you can kind of figure out what you should maybe be considering doing or, what you're not doing well or what people want from you. Or it's just kind of feeling them out and learning about them. I also think that boards are really cool because you can project the image that you choose to project. And the image that you choose to project should be consistent with your marketing scheme, which we will talk about in another video. But it includes being friendly, being upbeat, being positive, not being catty, not airing your dirty laundry, responding to all your PMs, that kind of thing. So, on one hand, be a good person, be the best version of yourself, be friendly, be funny, be cute, be a tiny bit sexual, but not overtly because that's advertising and that's not allowed and you'll get kicked off. But you certainly don't want to go on and be like, oh man, I had like this awful client the other day and then I hate him. Or, oh man, like the owner of my agency is really, really horrible to other girls and this is all the gossip that's going on behind the scenes. Or, ugh, I work with this girl and I don't like her. Whatever it is, don't say it. Nothing negative allowed on the boards at all. It ruins your image. There's really no way to do it well. And 5 years later, I've never seen a girl do that. The other thing is that you should probably not respond to reviews about yourself, especially if they're negative, because no matter what you say, you're probably not going to say it right. You might be the smartest person in the world, but when you get on that board, there's a good percentage of people who still think that you're kind of like a dumb hoe. And yeah, okay, change your mind in the session. Don't fight it on the boards. Do not fight it. If you have any doubts about posting it, do not post it. If I have something like controversial to say, I hold back typically and then I read it the next morning. And then if I'm still really, really sure that's what I want to say, that's what I say. But it's a really risky proposition and you want to be very, very, very careful because now you've looked at my turb and you looked at turb and you've looked at surf and you kind of know where they're all at and you know how bad it can get from looking at my turb. So watch what you say on the review boards. Make sure that you're being responsible. Make sure that you're being friendly. Make sure that you're being approachable. Do not respond to negative reviews. Like just pretend it's not there because people have a lot of stuff to say. Most of it's not right, but they have a lot of stuff to say. I usually just answer with thank you. I had a good time with you too. Or if it's a bad review, I'll PM them and apologize. Well, I've never really had a bad review, but if I got a review that wasn't 100% positive, I will send them a PM, private message, and I will apologize and just say like I'm sorry that you had a bad time. I look forward to, working with you in the future and maybe changing your opinion of me. And if not, at the very least, like, I've tried. I've done my due diligence. The last thing that I love about the boards is the fact that there are other girls on there. You do not want to start fights with other girls, especially not other girls that are on the boards. It's not worth it. And now that you're a social marketer, why not start connecting with other social marketers? Just a thought. When you see something that's bashing a girl on the boards and you are really sure that it doesn't make a lot of sense, like you know that girl or you have an idea of what might have happened that could be different, this is the one time that I would say stand up and say something, and say it politely, and say it really nice in a really kind of like cutesy, ditzy, whatever it is sort of way. But I do think that the one thing that I would never ever let go on a review board is something that bashed someone else. There is no reason in the world why we should be fighting each other and letting other people fight women that are in the trenches with us, right? Review boards can also persuade clients to see you based on what you have to say. So, my fourth sort of thing in this big long spiel is voice your opinion. Try not to be too controversial. All black people are X. All Asian clients are X. Don't give away little secrets about the agency or about the other girls that people wouldn't want you to be saying. But at the same time, try and show your personality a little bit. Try and show this image of this girl that you're trying to market. Whether it's actually you or not, you might as well speak up and be somebody, like have a personality and stuff. Shocking. In summary, your local review boards are terb.ca, surfs, so caerf.com, TER, which is the big American one that you want to check every once in a while to see if you're on, but you can't really post on, and then MyTurb, which you should never, ever, ever be posting on, and you should never, ever take seriously, but read to have an idea of how really awful people can be. And then my other points were listening to your clients. So read your reviews, respect your reviews, pay attention to what they're actually saying, and don't get offended because they don't even really expect you to be on there. Look for keywords that they're saying about other girls, all that kind of fun stuff. Project the correct image online. Be friendly, be upbeat, be positive, be yourself, voice your opinions, connect with the other girls, stand up for other girls, be a person in the sex industry, all that kind of fun stuff. Review boards are what launched my career because I am a relatively larger sized girl in proportion to the industry, even now at 135 pounds. I'm still a little bit on the heavier side. When I first started working, I was 180 to 190. So when you looked at my pictures, I wasn't necessarily the girl you wanted to click on. But when you started to get to know me online, I had a personality and I was interesting and I was positive and all these other things. And they started posting great reviews about me, and that made more people want to see me. And then I was able to connect with more people. And then so on and so forth. I got better and better and better as my connection and as my relationship with the review boards went on. I hope now you know a little bit about the review boards in Toronto and how they can affect your business, because this is something that either makes you or breaks you. Bad reviews, not good. Good reviews, very good. Good reviews equal success. Bad reviews equal very few to no calls. So watch yourself on the boards and do learn how to use them. And if you have any questions, you know how to contact me, titanTrt@gmail.com. And don't forget to give back to your community. If you like this, if you learned something about this or from this, pass it on to other girls, because we are all we have at the end of the day.